Thank you so much, Heather. And hello, everyone. Welcome to the Accelerate portion of Circularity 20, the fast pitch competition featuring leading circular economy startups. As Heather said, I am Shauna Rappaport, the Vice President and Executive Director of our VERGE event with GreenBiz Group. And it's truly a delight and pleasure to be your MC for today's Accelerate program. We've been talking a lot and will continue to over the next day or so here at Circularity 20 about, what leading companies are doing to advance the circular economy, how cities and community leaders are doing so in their regions. And this portion of the program is really about the startups, featuring the entrepreneurs who are at the heart of the innovation ecosystem that are innovating many of the solutions that are needed to get us to a truly circular economy. So we have a packed program and a short amount of time. So here is how this is going to work. In just a moment, I'm going to welcome our industry experts, Monique Mills and Taj Eldridge. We will run through our 5 startup pitches at a rapid fire pace of 2.5 minutes each. And then as Monique, Taj, and I are talking a little bit about the work that they do and discussing what we've just seen in the pitches, it's going to be up to all of you as our judges to cast your votes through the polling function of the Hopin platform and help to determine the winner. I also want to give a quick shout out to Cox Enterprises, our sponsor not only of this year's Accelerate at Circularity, but of past Accelerate programs. We're so grateful for your partnership and couldn't have run the program without you. So thank you to Cox. With that, it is my pleasure to introduce our esteemed industry experts for today. Monique Mills is Startup Catalyst with the Advanced Technology Development Center at Georgia Institute of Technology. And Taj Eldridge is Senior Director of Investment with the Los Angeles Cleantech Incubator. Welcome, Monique and Taj.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be here.
So great to have you. Yeah, so great to have you both. So right now, we're going to pass it over to the entrepreneurs. We're going to watch these pitches, as I said, one after the next, and then the 3 of us will have a chance to have a bit of a discussion while the Circularity 20 community is casting their votes. So with that, we are going to queue up our first pitch. Carolyn Amsinger is the CEO of Borrow Baby. Take it away, Carolyn.
Hi, my name is Carolyn, co-founder of Borrow Baby, a circular economy for sustainable clothing rentals for kids. Our company is for all you parents out there, spending over $700 a year on your kids' clothes that we know won't fit them for very long. Kids' clothing, a $16 billion market, suffers from massive underutilization. We try to do our best by handing clothes down and donating them, but still, they almost always end up in a landfill at a staggering rate of 70 million pounds per day in the US. Our circular solution is more than a rental service. Borrow Baby creates true circularity by hitting on all 3 pillars of the circular economy. On the supply side, we only partner with ethical and sustainable brands who manufacture natural, toxin-free clothing using organic agricultural practices, which regenerate natural systems. We keep our products in circulation for as long as possible by renting only the highest quality, most durable items, ensuring they can be worn multiple times and retain like-new quality. We help design waste out by carrying natural and monofibers that are recyclable. Our recycling partnerships are local here in the US and help to keep our clothes out of landfills. And look out for our own maternity line dropping in 2021, the first in the US designed for circularity from its inception. We believe the best and fastest way to accelerate circular economies is to show that they're more profitable than linear systems. And this is our #1 goal at Borrow Baby. Linear retailers can either squeeze vendors or their customers, but eventually their profitability plateaus. What we're really excited about at Borrow Baby is our revolutionary monetization strategy that prices products based on their durability, not retail price. And as the circulation loop grows, unit revenues increase, and we surpass what we call the borrow bar, the inflection point where circularity overcomes linear systems and profitability. Our circular model also de-risks supply, unlocks revenue streams through recycling, and ultimately offers parents better pricing while reducing textile waste. We all know that it's not just about your business model. Consumers have to actually want your product. We know our customer, and we understand that today in the US, sustainability is not a driving force in most people's purchasing decisions. Most people don't even know what circular economies really are. So we meet the customer where they are and offer them products which they value today. Comfortable, stylish, high-quality clothing that's affordable, with the added bonus of being ethical and sustainable. At Borrow Baby, we're all parents. We understand the pain points and we know how to address them. We all want what's best for our kids and their future, and that's why we teach them to wear what's best.
Excellent. Thank you, Carolyn. Next up is Ashwin Ramdas, who is the founder and CEO of Infinity Goods.
Hi, my name is Ashwin Ramdas, founder of Infinity Goods, a zero-waste grocery delivery service in the US. Our planet is suffocating in plastic, and in particular, plastic food packaging. We create so much food packaging waste because, well, everyone has to eat. And getting groceries without plastic is almost impossible. I've tried. When I gave up plastic, it meant giving up my favorite foods like pasta and ice cream, not to mention lugging around containers to multiple stores every time I shopped. I'm not alone. So many eco-conscious shoppers want to reduce their plastic use, but all of that is too much effort to ask, not only of them, but especially of the typical shopper. And that's where Infinity Goods comes in. Infinity Goods is a zero-waste grocery delivery service that delivers your groceries in reusable containers. We then retrieve, clean, and reuse those containers for future deliveries, cutting out the plastic packaging waste. We're like the milkman, but now for a wide selection of foods, from fresh produce to tofu, eggs, pasta, ice cream, bread, and much more, thanks to our partnerships with local producers who have agreed to reuse their packaging through our platform. We're using modern-day grocery delivery to advance the circular economy for food packaging by relieving the customer of doing any of the work themselves. Because our mission is to make it easy for you to ditch plastic without compromising convenience or the foods you love. Customers simply order online from our marketplace and we'll source and deliver it the next day without the waste. And this recipe is working. In just 8 months, we've already diverted almost 9,000 units of packaging waste, 1,800 just last month. And as our orders increase, our diversion rate accelerates. The demand for our solution is growing as more and more people turn to delivery. They turn to us because we offer the selection, convenience, and safety they're looking for without the waste. Since March, our sales have increased by 240%, and we don't expect that traffic to subside. Many customers come to us not just because we do delivery, but because we offer the foods they can't get anywhere else plastic-free. At Infinity Goods, we envision a future where you can get all the foods you love without the waste, where you don't have to choose between our planet and ice cream. Infinity Goods can deliver that future. Thank you.
All right, moving from fashion to food to shoes, please, in your own way, give a welcome to the CEO of Salubata, Fela Akins.
Hello guys, my name is Akin Shebela Bui and I'm the CEO of the brand known as Salubata. And at Salubata, we make modular shoes from recycled plastic waste. Over the years, we realized that there are over 381 million tons of plastic waste produced annually. But we have a bigger problem here, whereby we have just only about 9% of this plastic waste that have ever been recycled. Now we have another recurrent situation whereby we have a lot of recycling companies around, but the volume of this plastic waste remains constant in the environment. And so we have more people reusing this plastic waste rather than upcycle or recycle them. And that has led into a situation whereby we have over 5 trillion plastics still floating in our oceans to date. Thus, with a background in environmental science and in shoe design, we started imagining if we could convert all of this plastic waste to footwear. And so we also realized that the potential for impact is so huge, and the global footwear market is currently valued at $264 billion per annum. And so we decided to occupy this niche of low-cost recycled plastic shoes that make a profit while also benefiting people and planet. Here is our invention. And so we currently have a patent in Nigeria and also in the US and 2 design rights on this invention, whereby we make not just shoes from plastic waste, but also modular shoes. So as a buyer, you unzip this part of the shoe. Then you can replace it with another color. So aside that, we are just making shoes from plastic waste. We are also reducing the cost on the customer side. We are also reducing the volume we should carry, especially for people that travel a lot. We have two customer segments, which are the mass market, and also in about 3 to 4 years' time, we also intend to have a franchise. And so we have a team. We are a team of environmental scientists, business analysts, and project manager. We also have a quality assurance manager, also a fashion photographer. Aside the fact that we are making shoes from plastic waste, 5% of every shoe that is being purchased is being dedicated to feeding children and empowering women in underserved community, because we realize that the downhill effect of these pollutants affect these people the most. So in a year alone, we'll have contributed over 6.6% of our profit to this cost, and also offsetted over 40 million tons of this plastic waste, of carbon emissions from our invention per annum. We really hope that you join us and in fostering our planet Earth and our cause to posterity. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your attention. Thanks a lot.
Excellent. Thank you, Fela. Wow, zippered shoes. Remember, everyone, pay close attention. In just a minute, we're going to be turning to Monique and Taj, our industry experts, but you all are the judges for this session. We've got 2 more pitches, and then we'll be turning your attention to the polling function in the Hopin platform to cast your votes. Next up, from shoes to food freshness, please give a warm welcome to Solvega, who is the founder and director of Mimica.
Hello, Circularity 20. My name is Solvega. I'm the founder and director of Mimica, and at Mimica, we are designing waste out of the food system. Expiry dates are set at the worst case scenario, but the reality is that we keep our food much better than that. Dates are shortened to protect consumers in case of rare problems in the supply chain or even in our homes. And this actually hurts retailers' bottom lines because they have fewer days to sell their products, and this generates a lot of waste in their stores. Add back just 2 days and we can see food waste being cut in half in stores. We can see it being cut even more in our homes, and actually sales go up when shelf life is extended. This is just for 2 days. For products like juice and beef, we can even be doubling their shelf life. If there would be a way for retailers and food producers to say for certain that their foods were still fresh, they could safely extend shelf life, increase sales, and reduce waste overall. At Mimica, we've worked to solve this issue by creating a label that tells you exactly when food spoils, and it's called Mimica Touch. Using chemistry and smart design, our labels and caps are temperature sensitive and they show real freshness. All you need to do is run your finger over it, and if it feels smooth, that means your food is still fresh, and only when you feel bumps, like this one, that's when you know it should no longer be consumed. This is groundbreaking low-cost technology, and we're proud of the grants and awards that we've got to back us up. After several years of lab development, we're now working with the most innovative companies in the food industry, getting ready to launch in a few months. Companies are getting in touch because they can see that we can help them be more circular, reduce waste, increase sales, and encourage consumers to store their foods better. Expiry dates drive waste. Mimica Touch keeps food valuable. That's the main difference. By supporting Mimica, you're supporting our mission of radically reducing food waste, and I invite you to watch this video to learn more about that.
Very cool. Thank you, Solvega and Mimica. It certainly makes sense that touching your food with finding lumps would help you know whether it's expired, but a smart label is definitely an innovative approach at that. To close us out, our final pitch for Accelerate at Circularity 20, Cedric Van Hoek is the founder and general manager of Resortex. Welcome, Cedric.
Every second, a garbage truck of textiles is wasted globally, and only 1% is recycled. The reason for this is that garments are not designed for recycling. Zippers, buttons, and labels and different materials need to be separated, and this requires costly and time-consuming manual labor. I am Cedric Van Hoek, co-founder of Resortex. And with Resortex, we solve this problem by supplying a patented system that includes sewing threads and rivet buttons that dismantle at specific, rather high temperatures. Thanks to this, when used for assembly, the whole piece of clothing can easily be dismantled later on by simply applying heat. The different components can then be sorted, reused, which cuts the needs to produce fabric from scratch. As the sewing threads can be used on existing stitching machines, and the garments made can be washed, ironed, and the fabric is not damaged during the thermal disassembly process, the whole solution is really easy to implement within the existing infrastructure. Thanks to this, Resortex has the potential to become an industry standard as a stepping stone towards circular economy. It's for this reason that Resortex was awarded with the Global Change Award by the H&M Foundation in 2018. And currently, Resortex is running more than 15 pilots with international fashion brands to scale up the adoption. In order to build the first continuous disassembly oven, Resortex is raising 800,000 euros in convertible loans. I invite you to join our quest in making fashion sustainable by a simple switch of a stitching thread bobbin without any creative nor quality trade-off.
Excellent. Thank you so much to our Accelerate finalists. So again, I'm now inviting all of you to bring your attention to the right-hand side of your Hopin platform screen, where you'll see the poll function, an unenviable task of having to vote amongst all of these awesome solutions and great pitches, but we invite you to do so nonetheless. And as you do, I'd love to welcome Taj and Monique back onto the screen so that we can both hear a little bit more about the work that each of you are doing to support circular economy startups, and also talk about what we just saw. So Monique, I want to pass it to you first. You lend your talents advising startup incubators and accelerators across the country. Talk a little bit about your work at the Advanced Technology Development Center and what you're seeing across the landscape of innovation, specifically in the circular economy.
Yeah, at ATDC, I work with startups that have a emphasis on creating scalable technologies for the retail industry. And our main focus is to make sure that they're able to become a sustainable business model and one that can be supported into the future of, really the future of how things will be done. Being that retail is like the second most polluting factor in the world, it's important for us to help those founders that are creating things that enhance and enable the circular economy. And so that's what we do there at ATDC.
That's great. Thank you. And Taj, you're, as Senior Director of Investment at LACI, I imagine the number of solutions that are coming across your desk every day spans a really broad spectrum. How does LACI, Los Angeles Cleantech Incubator, think about circular solutions within the context of the broader kind of clean tech landscape?
Yeah, number one, thank you for inviting me here and taking the time for these wonderful founders to speak about what they're doing. I think at LACI, when we talk about the circular economy, me personally, I love it because we've seen these products. These are all intimate products that either touching your body or touching your body in some type of way, either you wearing them or you consuming the product or what have you. So I think that this is an opportunity to really kind of get other communities that have not been able to have the conversation about sustainability involved now. And, that's one of the things that we tend to look for. It's interesting that with Los Angeles being, one of the fashion capitals of the world, that there's a push to start thinking about the materials that we use and the circularity of them as well. And I think that's really awesome to see.
Yeah, it's been great to see you all at LACI bring more of a focus to circular economy. Quick process note, it's come to my attention that a number of you are casting your votes in the chat feature. As a reminder, please do so in the polling function because we have a legitimate poll where we're actually collating all of your responses. We're going to put it together in some fancy graph. So please, if you've cast your vote already in the chat function, go to the poll feature and do it there. And another note, I think our final pitch, Resortex, is noted in the poll function as Regeneration BVBA. So one note there. Monique, Taj, I want to turn our attention now to talk a little bit about what we just saw. Monique, what stood out for you? Were there any solutions? I am going to press you both, by the way, in just a minute. Who would you be casting your vote for? But talk a little bit more generally about what you saw, what stood out. Were there any red flags, either from a technology perspective or in the pitches? I'd love to hear your impressions.
Yeah, so for me, as I mentioned just a moment ago, is how I focus on creating sustainable business models, because the reality is if the business doesn't make money or help someone save money, people won't adopt it. So I take a very realistic approach every time I see cool things all day, every day. But the great thing about the ones here, I can totally see from their pitch that they have the ability to be sustainable, profitable businesses that other people would adopt because it would also help them financially. And I know, saving the world, making sure we maintain our environment is important, but in the business world, that's not their priority. So in order to make it their priority, you have to have things like all of these companies. Celubata really threw me away. Mimica really just blew me away. All of them did. So I can't tell you which one I would choose. I would invest in all of them if I could myself.
Oh, all right. That's a win for all. Win for all. That's great. Thank you. Thank you, Monique. What about for you, Taj? What stood out? I'm glad, Monique, you brought up the business model piece. What stood out to you, Taj?
Yeah, I think what Monique says has to be seconded. I kind of look at it as Cleantech 1.0 provided these great technologies that really made sense, but the alternative to use them was not the most perfect or the most economical. And I think what we're seeing now with Cleantech 2.0 is, just like Monique said, is a realization that it not only does it have to be sustainable, but it also has to make business sense. The consumers or the end result users have to have a use case scenario to borrow those products. I think, I'm a formal apparel person, so I love a lot of the apparel innovations that we saw, particularly the shoes and the material could be reutilized again for clothing. I think when we start talking about circular economy, the apparel and food places in it are going to be some of the ones that really kind of resonate with consumers, because our habits are changing. We're right now in a conference online because of the pandemic, and I think that I wonder how many other habits are going to be changing with this, from shopping to where we get our groceries and everything else like that. And then when you have companies that produce the products where you can have sustainability even doing that will help in that conversation as well. So like Monique, I see all of these great companies are really interesting, but I really kind of love, as a shoe person, I'm really loving the idea of the shoe startup as well.
All right. So are they the one who would get your vote? We're about to do the reveal of the audience voting. I'm going to press you both. Taj?
Yeah, final call is going to be, and my apologies because I forgot the name of the gentleman's company, but the shoe company.
Yes, that would be Salubata.
Salubata, yeah.
Great. Okay, and what about you, Monique?
I'd have to go with Mimica. I mean, we all need food to live and survive, and it just hits home for me.
Right on. Well, with that, we are about to do our grand reveal. Cheers to Mimica, who's our winner of Accelerate at Circularity 20. Congratulations, Solvega. I encourage you all to spend more time checking out these solutions, to follow up with Taj and Monique, their work at LACI, at the Advanced Technology Development Center. Thank you again so much to Cox for your support and sponsorship of this program. And again, huge thanks to Taj and Monique, and a huge congrats to all of these entrepreneurs who did a fantastic, fantastic job.